منصة نور أكاديمي، نحن صناع العلامة الكاملة.
السلام عليكم طلابي الأعزاء، معكم مس جمانة سلوادي. Now, today we will start with the second semester of Action Back for 10th graders. Module 4 talks about science and scientists. Science and scientists. And we talked before that our lovely book is divided to 10 or 12 modules. Now, second semester focused on or started from module 4. Now, the title here is Science and Scientists. And as usual, we followed the outcomes or something we can try to have a short idea about the unit. For example, here talks about the grammar, state, and dynamic verbs. So I will give you, as a student here, I will give you, you can say, the layout of our unit. Now, if you, for example, open your pupil's book, page 34, 35, 34, and 35, Module 4 started with this title and also give a short idea about the outcomes of our unit. Now here, before you begin, it's very necessary for you as a student here and prepare yourself how to start studying and to have short ideas about what you come to face or come to study, and main ideas you should focus on. You should start to read the front page of our module. Now, what does it mean, module? It's the same of unit وحدة. Okay, now, before you begin, look at the pictures and say what can you see in each one. What is the word from the type science subject shown in each picture? Number 2, read the words in the books. Which words refers to types of science? And what areas are covered in these types of science? Check the meaning of any word you don't know in the activity book glossary or in the dictionary. Now, as an advice, you should, as a student for 10th grade, you should start to how to use with your dictionary. And dictionary, it's very necessary, and all the words in the dictionary are very necessary for us because you can focus on the part of speech. You can know the different meanings of one word, for example. Now here, we have the yellow books here in our module. This book is very necessary because you should focus on the main words here in our module. And we will, inshallah, cover these words and focus on them, and also covering the different words and different parts of speech of them and how to use, to deal with them, how to, for example, write meaningful sentences for each one. Now, organism, botany, zoology, ecology, environmental science, combine, branch, interact, and cell. If you notice here, some of them are verbs, some of them are nouns. Now, these words are related to our title. Organism البنية أو الكائن الحي أو بنية الجسم نفسها أو خلينا نحكي الأعضاء، إشي بخص الأعضاء. بنية الجسم لأي كائن حي. botany علم النبات. zoology علم برضو الأحياء. ecology علم الأحياء أيضاً. environmental science هنا بدنا نيجي نحكي عن العلم بشكل عام environmental science. Now combine يربط الشيء بالشيء, branch, interact and cell. Now science matters. Now before that, read and listen the part 1 of an extract from a science radio program. Write down the questions that you hear about the 3 main areas of science. Science matters. Now if we focus here the name or the title science matters, matters هنا الأشياء اللي ممكن إنه نعمل عليها focusing. Matters بمعنى الأشياء المهمة, the most important things about science. Now our text started with what? With a question. Now as a question, before you read, it's a type of a brainstorming. For example, if I want to talk about any topic, talk about it, or to make a short debate with anyone or with a group of people, or to start my discussion, it's very lovely to do not start of my topic immediately. I should, for example, to have short questions to what? To start the discussion politely. Now here, each text, we have a short question. Do you like science? Whether or whatever you think of science, there is no doubt that it can be very surprising. Some of us, we can say, we can find science somehow difficult, and maybe it's true. But we have lots of people love to know more about science. So whatever you think of science, is it difficult or easy or complicated or something like that, it is very necessary. No doubt, it's very necessary. Now here doubt, there is no doubt بدون أدنى شك بأنه هو مهم جدا في حياتنا اليومية, مرتبط بشكل وثيق for our daily life. It's very related to each detail of our daily life. Now let's start to read the text. Science tries to answer many of the questions that we like to ask about the world around us. Do you know, for example, lightning is 10 times hotter than the sun, or that 100 million microorganisms live in your mouth? Now here, if I talk about microorganism, now here microorganism, I mean here مئات الأعضاء الموجودة ممكن أنا أجدها فقط في فمي أنا. So in our text here, it's started with what? Topic sentence. And we talked about topic sentence before. It's the main idea, general idea about our text. So if I want, for example, to write about my topic, I should start with a suitable title, and after that, I should start my text with what? General main idea, I mean here, the topic sentence. Topic sentence, somehow it is short. And I start my essay or paragraph with it. And also it should be covered of lots of details about my, for example, I mean here short ideas about my long details in our essay or, for example, text. So if I want to underline the topic sentence here, science tries to answer many of the questions that we like to ask about the world around us. Focus on the word here, the world. So to ask about the world around us, It's very general. Now, I can, for example, talk about many details in each paragraph, but my introductory paragraph should covered in my text. Do you know, for example, that lightning is 10 times hotter than the sun? Now here we have a fact. It's very lovely to enhance or enrich my students, or for example, my listeners or my readers for my text of what? Of facts. Or that 100 million microorganisms live in your mouth. It's here, you can say it's a kind of a question, but what? It has lots of facts to what? To enhance your, for example, truth about science. Now, I want to add something here, please. Now, if I, for example, start to write an essay, my essay should be divided to what? Should be divided to title, introduction, now here, my first paragraph talks about the introduction of my whole essay. First paragraph, second, now we have here the eraser. I should, for example, to use it. Okay. And also, may I have here third one and the conclusion. Now, my students, focus with me, please. Now, the title, the introduction here, if I have, for example, an essay, I mean مقالة, not a short paragraph. لأنه مقالة بمعنى أصح وأدق هي أكبر من الفقرة. صحيح؟ نعم. المقالة يجب أن تكون فيها كثير من الفقرات المعينة اللي بيبحث فيها الكاتب أو بيأدي فيها بيكتب فيها رأي معين. ببلش ب title, introduction. Now, introduction, I mean here a paragraph like an introduction covered all my details here somehow. My, for example, main ideas throughout my essay. Okay? So introduction also has a topic sentence. Now, if I go deep, now we have the body, and also we should, for example, finalize my essay with conclusion. I mean here conclusive paragraph. Now, conclusive paragraph, as a writer, I can add my opinion. I can, for example, let the debate is open to all the, for example, researchers or some reviewers about my title and my topic. So conclusive paragraph, it's very important. And also we have here the body and the introduction. Now we have here science matters as a paragraph. So it's not an essay. So my paragraph should started with topic sentence and the body, and also try to, for example, to end my paragraph with what, or finalize my paragraph with what? Shorter questions. Just let the audience or let the readers or listeners to what? To enrich their information about the topic, or for example, to take part or participate about the debate. Okay, the three main areas of science are biology, chemistry, and physics. And do you know, my students, that biology here بمعنى علم الأحياء والكيمياء والفيزياء. Biology is the study of living things. طبعا في الأحياء بندرس أعضاء الكائن الحي، وظائف الكائن الحي الداخلية، أيضا كمان الخارجية، وأيضا الحواس، الشم والذوق والفم وإلى آخره. كل العصبونات ممكن تتكون بالجهاز العصبي المركزي والجهاز العصبي الطرفي، فهذا كله details related to what? To biology. Now, it includes the fields of botany, zoology, ecology, and environmental science. So biology also includes. Now, when I say what is the relationship between botany, zoology, ecology, and علم الحيوان وعلم النبات وعلم الأحياء، شو دخلهم جميعهم بالبيولوجي؟ You are talking about the human being? No, it's not only the human being here. I'm talking about the living things. Chemistry is the study of the building blocks of nature and how they combine to form the solids, liquids, and gases that make up everything. Physics is the branch of science that deals with the matter and energy and how they interact. Now, my students, focus on this. The body here has what? The body of my paragraph has what? Has the details about the what? About the whole things. I have it here in my text. Okay? So you should focus on something. If I ask you, for example, what does the biology include of? Number 2, I can say, for example, how many branches of the science? Okay, what is the relationship between zoology and biology? I can, for example, ask a short question. Environmental science, for example, is it a branch of zoology? Is it a branch of zoology or biology? You can choose, you can answer me, and also you can convince me with lots of details according to the text. Okay, so now look at the pronoun here, they. For example, they, it's a pronoun, not a noun. Because nouns بمعنى الأسماء. And also the proper nouns, الأسماء الصريحة الأعلام. I can say proper nouns like the name of countries, the name of people, the name of some oceans, the name of some, for example, United Nations. Anything you can say it's very important or very unique and special in our world. Proper noun, اسم العلم. Now, and also in English as a noun here, we can say any noun in our atmosphere, or for example, you can find noun here in our room, for example, like window, door, board, fan, anything else, pencil, pen, anything. Okay, so they, it's a pronoun. I mean, I can compensate يعني أعوض. I can compensate the noun or the proper noun or a noun with the pronoun. So what's the difference between noun and the pronoun? Pronoun هو الضمير. And in English, we have 7 main subject pronouns. She, he, it, they, we, you, I. Let's go to put them here. So it's very important to know the main 7 subject subject pronouns in our English. I can here start my sentence with she or he or it, they, we, you, I. she لازم نستخدمها لا التعويض لما بدي أتكلم عن أي شيء أي حد أنثى. أو for example, if I have a pet in my house, like a cat or dog or anything else from the kinds of animals, I can deal with it as a she here. he برضو للمذكر, it لأي شيء جماد, and I can also use it for animals. They, anything talked about nouns, but they are in a plural state, okay? They are plural. We, I'm talked about us, we. And in second sections, inshallah, we will focus about the objective pronoun. How can, for example, change these 7 subjective pronouns to objective pronouns, especially to use it in my sentences, in reported speech, relative clauses. You should, as a 10th grader, to focus on the kind or the changing here of pronouns. You, I'm talking about you بغض النظر كان بحالة المفرد أو الجمع. And I am talking about myself. I'm talking about myself. I can start to talk about my state, my status, my anything I want to express my ideas about it. Talk about myself, about my study, my beloved things, or anything I hated. For example, I like pizza. I like, for example, I like going shopping. I like or I hate, for example, something, or I hate a kind of subject in my school. Something like that. So you can start your sentence also with I to talk about yourself. Okay. So they. I have they in my context here. If any asks me to refer they, how it could be. Now here we have kind of a questions here. Comprehension question, if you follow me in your book. What do pronouns in bold refer to? And also as a توجيهي student here in our country, pronouns are very important. You should focus how to refer them very well. For example here, it includes the fields of botany, zoology, ecology. What it compensates of. So as a توجيهي student, you should focus on what? On pronouns. Pronouns are very important in my context. I should go back, for example, 1 step or 2 steps to, for example, know about it. What does this pronoun refer to? Now, it compensates of what? It's compensation of what? Of biology, chemistry, physics, or what? Is it, for example, 3 main areas? How come? How come it refers to 3 main areas? I'm talking about something singular. So let's go back here. The 3 main areas of science are biology, chemistry, physics. Now, if you notice here, the 3 branches of biology, 3 branches or 2 branches of biology related to what? Related to biology. So biology, it refers to, so it here refers to biology. Okay? Yes. So, as we said before, science. Look at this. Science. It's biology. Chemistry. And also physics. Okay. Now, if I have here biology, I should focus on 3 things, which are, for example, 3 or 4, botany, zoology, ecology, environmental, here. So if I ask you, for example, to tell me the branches of biology, you should focus on details. So it refers to biology. So if you have, for example, true or false sentences, you should focus on your text. Because sometimes you can find, for example, botany, zoology, ecology, and environmental science are branches of chemistry. Or they are not related to living things. Sometimes you cannot find biology as a major. So these questions, probable question, you should focus how they come, how, for example, to read in details, to read very deeply your context. It's not a kind of scanning or skimming. Some questions related to scanning and skimming strategies, but here, because you are prepare yourself to make for example, to overcome or to get past توجيهي stage, inshallah, you should be focused on many details in your context. Okay. بمعنى إنه لازم تقرأ بطريقة متمعنة. بعض الأسئلة تحتاج لطريقة السكانينج اند سكيمينج، يعني بسرعة إنك عم بتدور على رقم معين، على اسم معين، مثلا من رئيس دولة، فرضا أي دولة، أنت بتعمل سكيمينج أو سكانينج عن شغلة معينة، هذا بيختلف. لكن for example if you have for example true or false questions, you should read deeply because they are very, very sensitive questions. Okay, and we have also how they combine. Look at this. Now I can relate to chemistry. But how come? Chemistry is the study of the building blocks of nature and how they combine to form the solids, liquids, gases, make up everything. How can I, for example, refer they as a pronoun to chemistry? Chemistry is a singular and also it's a proper noun, I guess. Yes, it's a proper noun. بالمناسبة صبايا وشباب، كيف بدي أعرف إذا كان مرات بيطلع عندي بعض الأسماء أنا ما بعرف إذا هي proper noun أو لا؟ ماشي، إحنا بنعرف إنه أسماء الأشخاص والأعلام وهاي الأشياء، وخلينا نحكي المشاهير وأسماء companies معينة ممكن تكون for example مهم كتير، abbreviation معينة لازم تنكتب برضو capital letter. لكن برضو sometimes I have the name of subjects in my school or my university or my college. Now chemistry, biology, physics, they are the names of subjects. بمعنى أسماء مواد مهمة جدا. Okay? So I cannot, for example, to minimize them. How dare? So I should, for example, to write them with the capitalization, I mean capital letters at the beginning, and also focus on them. I mean, I can guess this is a proper noun in my context because of capitalization. Okay? Okay, let's go back. Now how they refers to one thing? No, it's impossible. So what? Because it talks about plural. So what? Look at this. Read carefully. Chemistry is the study of building blocks. Look at this. Buildings of blocks of what? كمان ما بصير تحط buildings of blocks وتسكت. No. Building blocks of nature, because I'm talking about nature. So nature hits a key word. So here you should focus on they refers to this one. Okay. Yes. So refers to what? Refers to blocks of nature. Combine to form the solids. What about combine? What is the part of speech of combine? Because it's very important word here in my yellow box. Combine, I mean here to what? Relate, to get together, yes, to march them. Yes, combine here, يربط الأشياء. Now, these blocks of building, I mean here building blocks of nature, combine what? Combine to form the solids, liquids, and gases. Now here, look at this. الصلب والسائل والغاز that make up everything. What about physics? Is the branch of science that deals with the matter and energy, how they interact. Look at this. What about they? They refers to what? Physics and energy, or what? Physics is the branch of science that deals with matter and energy. Matter here, I can say matter, خليني أقرب لك إياها بطريقة مهمة أو طريقة بسيطة. matter أي شيء ممكن يحدث في الطبيعة. يعني تفاعل إشي معين. For example, if I have H2O, تمام؟ هو عبارة عن شو؟ hydrogen with oxygen, right? يعني إذا أنا مثلا مركب الماء, it's a matter. مركب الماء, it's a matter. One of them talks about what? H2O. I mean hydrogen and oxygen. For example, CO2. This is a matter. Do you know what do I mean of matter? Matter relates to something scientifically. It's a scientifically word. Okay? And it's very important, relates with science because it's scientifically word. Okay? So with matter and energy and how they interact بتفاعلوا مع بعض. It's very, very, you can say, relates to or similar to combine. No, interact تفاعل. Combine الربط بين شيء وشيء. Somehow they have the similar meaning. What about they? Refers to what? Matter and energy. My students, I hope all of you to get some benefits about, for example, at the beginning, let's go back, about the title. How can, for example, make a brainstorming with some questions. And these questions help my reader, my listener, to what? To answer them, to enrich their information. And I start my topic with what? Topic sentence. It's general, yes. Somehow they are short, topic sentences in general, okay? After that we have the body. Look at this. Look at the conclusive somehow. Science tries to answer questions such as, why do you see lightning before we hear thunder? Why do we need to breathe in more air during exercise? What do oil and coal come from? This is معناها الفحم, coal. Oil بمعنى مش بس الزيت, البترول بشكل عام, كل أصناف البترول. Because I studied science before, so I go deep to some terms, some information about science, some matters related to science. So because of that, we have some words in English, you cannot translate it as it is. Okay? So because of that, oil, it's related to anything under our ground, for example, or between our rocks. So oil, كل شيء, بترول, زيت, كل شيء بيتعلق بالأويل والغاز. coal الفحم الحجري. أو الفحم اللي ممكن يعني نعمل منه إضاءة لمدن معينة، لمدن صناعية معينة، الفحم. أوكي؟ طبعاً أنتوا يعني ما بعرف إذا متخصصين أكتر بتعرفوا كيف منطلع الفحم. هو عبارة عن تراكمات لنباتات وحيوانات. They are very very old. أوكي؟ الفحم. What's so on? Let's to overcome these words. So, but if you, for example, focus or Google them, you can find the meaning. So also science help us to know more about oil and coal, and also help me to know what is happening in my body, inside my body. I mean, when I, for example, start to run, I need to breathe more. Or, for example, my breath increasing somehow step by step. So this is very lovely. I know it's short, but it's detailed. بمعنى detailed مفصلة، كتير فيها من التفاصيل. They are very important. If I ask you as a student here, tell me, what is the type of the text? It's informative. Yes, excellent. It's informative text. I mean here, all the facts I talk from the starting of my lecture here talks about facts. And the facts, if you want to start your debate or your discussion, you should start or focus on what? Present tense. I mean, you should start to your sentences with what? Simple present tense. Okay, this is help us to go back here. What about grammar? State and dynamic verbs. State and dynamic verbs. Now we will, inshallah, try to talk about them later on. And شو يا مس العلاقة بين dynamic and state verbs? They are very important in simple present because we have stative verbs and we have also active verb, I mean dynamic verb, right? For example, if you say, I like or I love my parents. Love here, it's very stative and also talks about one of the sense verbs, right? It's very stative. You mean if you love your parents, you don't need, for example, to run. You don't need to jump, right? It's different, for example, when I say, I walk, for example, in the playground for 2 hours every week. It's a very dynamic verb, right? Okay. Dynamic and stative verbs, they are related to simple present, and simple present also the uses of them. Facts, daily routine actions, and also talks about the status, your status as a human being. 3 things, I will repeat them. Simple present or the uses of simple present talks about what? Talking about daily routine actions. Number 2, facts, which are focusing here. And number 3, your status. Okay. Now, look at this. Physics. Physicists have shown us the light travels faster than sound. It is the fastest thing we know. Biologists explain that when we do exercise, the cells in our body need more oxygen. Chemists have found that oil and coal come from plants and animals that lives millions of years ago. هذا اللي كنت عم بحكي فيه. So it's not an extra information. It's an extra information for your, for example, for your background about science. But like as I said, now here chemists متخصصين إنه يقولوا لنا الزيت والبترول وكل أنواع الفحم كله هو عبارة عن شو؟ From plants and animals that lives millions of years ago. Okay. If we focus, for example, on biologists, chemists, بتلاحظ إنه دايماً الsuffix TS and also STS, and we have somehow I here. Now chemistry, الكيمياء. الكيميائي chemist. كيميائيين chemists. So this is S for plural. Again, this is S for plural. Okay. Now, these the questions. What do the pronouns in bold refer to? What's the importance of science? Now, what do I mean by importance of science? Importance of science بمعنى أهمية العلوم بشكل عام. And we will talk about the details next lecture. But if we have a short revision here, the science has what? 3 branches, if you remember. The importance, I should go back to my text here. Now, try to answer many of the questions. Yes, very good. Why are ecology, botany, zoology considered branches of biology? You should go back to biology once again and read carefully about these 3 branches. فإذا يا شباب ويا صبايا، بعرف إنه أهمية إنه ترجمة كل كلمة بالإنجليزي عشان أنا ما بعرف أو كذا، أوكي، لكن لا تعمل كل الفوكسنج على الترجمة وتنسى طريقة ومهارة قراءة التكست اللي قدامك. هاي المحاضرة يعني عم بحط حالي مكانكم، إني أنا طالب التوجيهي وبدي أقرأ هذا الكونتكست قدامي. Some of the words I don't know them in Arabic. Okay. Some questions help me, for example, to read the text deeply. Some questions, for example, help me to scan or to skim my context. If I look for a number, a name of country, a name of ocean somehow, a percentage, نسبة مئوية somehow. فإذا أنا ما رح أضيع وقتي بالديتيلز I mean in Arabic. لازم يكون في عندي مهارة في قراءة الكونتكست اللي قدامي والأتموسفير تبع التكست. وهذا الإشي كتير مهم في حل الأسئلة. Sometimes I can add from my background about the importance of science. But you should focus to write your sentences grammatically and meaningfully correct. This is very important thing. Okay. فإذا هاي المهارة, sometimes our book talks about your opinion, which is a very critical question. In my opinion, what is the most important question that scientists were able to answer? Explain your choice. Some students, for example, find science, it's very important to answer my questions about my body, my health. Never mind the world or the atmosphere, or for example, how the other living things live, for example. I don't care. Some of people know, they want to know more about the other living things and how do they, for example, interact, how they, for example, try to make, how to deal with their lives, for example, how they eat, what do they eat, why, all of these questions, science help us to what? To answer them, because it's very related to our life and the life of the other living things, by the way. So here, these questions related to context. Next lecture, inshallah, we will talk about the state and dynamic verbs. By the way, this book is a student book, الملون, colored one. We will try to cover all the lessons in our here book and try to answer some questions or all the questions in module 4 for the activity book. So don't hesitate, don't be worried about anything. We will cover everything, and also I can answer all of your questions. This is for today. This is all for today. Thank you for your listening. Thank you for your, for example, try to comprehend and also take all the strategies, how to deal with my text, how to answer, and also how to add. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
منصة نور أكاديمي، نحن صناع العلامة الكاملة.